Hello, my name is Nick. I play guitar in a band called Bears and Trees. We're currently on tour with Noahfinnce in the USA, which is wonderful. And I'm here to give you a rundown of the rig I use when I'm away in America. I'm going to start with our case over here. It's an NQ case. We actually bought this for the tour because it's easy to transport as luggage on a flight. Ian has spray painted it and it's very lovely. Let's open this bad boy up. It's super light as well, so it's so just handy to have to drag around. In here we have my guitar. Let me tell you about this. This is a Fender Mustang. It was my dream guitar for a long time. I'm very thankful to our label, Counterintuitive Records, because they bought it for me. So shout out Counterintuitive. They are the real ones. And yeah, so let's talk through what we have here. The pickups are P90s. They're single coil, so they sound pretty nice. My other guitar is a Jazzmaster, and that's humbuckers. So it's a nice change, kind of more shrill. But it works for the kind of stuff we play. You just have a tone knob and a volume knob, which is easy. Selector for your pickups. In terms of strings I use .11 strings. These are currently the Dario .11s. I used to use a light gauge until our producer slash sound engineer in the UK said that I fret too hard and it goes out of tune. So now I use mediums, which is super fun, and I like how chunky they are. To be honest, I like how I just like how the guitar feels and how it sounds. Yeah, I use a Jazzmaster at home, which is a lot bigger. This guitar is so light. It's like to quote Ned Flanders, it's like I'm wearing nothing at all from that Simpsons episode. So I can just jump with it, super chill. And yeah, in terms of these stickers, I want to start, as of this tour, making a collection of stickers on this guitar so I can fill up the entire front. Right now we have our TM mic stand, Eternal Boy, shout out Eternal Boy, and we have this Drink Juice sticker I got from somewhere in Ohio. In terms of tuning this guitar, it's pretty much always run in E standard tuning. I dropped D for maybe one song in our entire catalogue, Precipitation, which we're not playing on this tour, so that's all pretty fine. But yeah, just regular tuning, medium strings, makes Nick a happy boy because I have to think about very little on stage in that regard. So yeah, that's my guitar. This is my Helix LT, also referred to as my baby on its case at home. We decided maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, when we started touring proper, that we wanted to be as self-sufficient, self-sustained, and as compact as possible. So we don't run with any amps, with any cabs. We just use DI slash modelers such as this Helix. So I'll tell you a bit about the outside first. For this tour, I am running just a mono signal from my guitar. Where we tour at home, I'll run stereo, but it's just easier this way to run it in mono. It is what it is. In terms of what I have on here, we have a wonderful guitar tech called Lou back in the UK. So these are just reminders for him, where to put it when I start my set, where to dial the volume so it's just right, stuff like that. I'll tell you about the patches now. So I know guitarists do it differently. Some guitarists will just roll with one patch throughout the entire set and then have pedals dictating different tones. I don't do that. I have a different patch for every song in our set, just because it's much easier for me that way to like dial in delay, dial in echo, tremolo, whatever effects are happening during our set. Now this is a modeler. I'm going to be honest, before I got this, I never really gave a rat's butt about what amp or cab I used. I didn't have a preference, and I still don't. So I can tell you what amp is modelling. Right now we are modelling a Tweed Blues Britain. Now I've got no idea what amp that corresponds to in real life, because it just sounds good. I don't always use the same amp for the same setting, because again, I was never that into amps. So yeah, that's that. I'll talk you through some of the effects I run with. I've got a noise gate at the start to keep everything nice and tidy. I've got a Scream 808 distortion, which is cool. This is the first song on our set, Cut Corners, so when I come in I'm just on distortion. Light phaser, a little bit of compression, and then the amp. When I turn it off, we get added another phaser, because one is simply not enough. So I'm phasing the phase, and then we get searchlights. This is a really nice spacey echo. Tail runs on as well when I take it off, so it's just nice for this set. My favourite thing about the Helix is just the colours you get on the buttons. So like blue's always like your chorus and like your phase and stuff. Orange is always your overdrive. Purple is like your pitch shifts and like your harmonies and your octave pedals. And it's just very pleasing to the eyes. If I was going to recommend the Helix for anything, I'm sure it's great for modeling if that's what you want to do. I'm sure it's great for like impulse responses if you want to put in your own amp profile. I don't know how to do that. I've met people who can do that and it's amazing, but personally for me, it's not in my vocabulary as of yet. I like the colours. The colours are very pleasant. And as you can see on my patches as well, I don't run any parallel lines. It's all just one straight line from guitar through to DI. Noah's bassist, Charlie, on this tour said my tones sound very good, and he definitely knows how to use a Helix. So that was enough indication for me that I'm probably doing something right. Pick-wise, my current favourite are just Dunlop .73s with the sharp end. This one's dulled a little bit because I've used it for the past few shows, but I just like sharp picks, fairly heavy, because I've got a pretty heavy playing style. And in terms of lead I use, I'll be honest, this definitely isn't my lead. I don't know who bought it. Is it Ian's? This is Ian's lead. It's just the longest lead we had available, because I'm not tied to a microphone on stage that often. I can like run around, I can move about, so yeah, I just get the long lead, which is pretty handy. Yeah, oh, I'll tell you about a specific issue I had a couple of rehearsals ago. So you hold this button down, you get a tuner. Now, obviously you can see all these knobs here will affect the type of tuner you have, what you're tuning. Tuners for, I guess, standard Western music should be set to 440 Hertz. I found this out from Callum. Somehow during one rehearsal, I moved it to like 455 or something. And my guitar was so out of tune for the entire rehearsal. I tried re-intonating it, I tried changing the strings, I tried putting some relief in the neck, and it turned out I was just tuning to the wrong system of measurement that is common practice in Western music. So why is that a thing? Why is that a thing?
Why is that a thing? Why is it?
Yeah. And now every time I go on stage, I check that little number religiously. We've been Bears and Trees. It's been a pleasure talking you through my rig. If you want to check us out, we're on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Tidal, if anyone still uses that. We're on TikTok, Instagram. We're still on Tumblr, if that's your thing. You can find us in any corner of the internet. Our newest EP is called Every Moonbeam, Every Fever Dream. We're super proud of it. All of the tones on that EP came from this bad boy right here. So thank you for watching.